Hey everyone, so you've heard about cryptocurrency, and let's be honest, it can feel super confusing, maybe a little intimidating, or just plain overwhelming. Well, you're in exactly the right place. Today we're going to cut right through all that noise and give you a simple, clear guide to getting started.
You've probably heard about it everywhere, right? On the news, from your friends, maybe even at the dinner table. So what's the deal? Is this really the future of money, or is it just a big, flashy fad that's going to disappear? Well, instead of just adding to the hype, we're going to break down what you actually need to know.
Okay, so what is cryptocurrency? At its heart, it's basically digital money. But here's the revolutionary part. It's not controlled by a single bank or government. It's decentralized, which means it runs on a global network of computers. And the technology that makes this all possible is called the blockchain. Just think of it like a public record book that's shared with everyone and is incredibly secure. No one person can just go in and change it. That's why it's such a big deal. It's a whole system of value that exists outside of traditional control.
So when you step into this world, you're basically entering a global market that never ever sleeps. It's open 24/7. And yeah, the opportunities for reward can be huge, but, and you really got to hear this, they come with equally high risk. It's a brand new and, pretty volatile landscape for anyone curious about the future of finance.
All right, feeling intrigued? Maybe a little nervous? That's totally normal. Navigating this new world can seem like a lot, but it really doesn't have to be. Let's just walk through a clear, practical plan to help you get started safely and with confidence. This is your Safe Start checklist.
It's such a simple question, but it is so important. Unlike the cash in your pocket, digital money needs a digital home. We call that home a wallet. And understanding how these wallets work is the absolute first step you need to take to keep your assets safe.
And you've basically got two main choices here. A hot wallet is usually an app on your phone or your computer, and it's always connected to the internet. Think of it like your everyday billfold. It's super convenient for making frequent transactions. On the other hand, you have a cold wallet. This is a physical device, kind of like a special USB stick, that's kept completely offline. This is your safe deposit box, the most secure way to go for holding onto your crypto long term.
And this brings us to what is pretty much the golden rule of this whole space. Not your keys, not your crypto. When you control your private keys, that's the unique password that gives you access to your funds, you are your own bank. That's the real power of this stuff. But it also means all the responsibility is on you. So your mission is simple. Protect those keys with everything you've got.
So here it is, your simple plan. First, learn the basics, like what's the difference between a coin and a token. Second, get a secure wallet that actually makes sense for what you plan to do. Third, pick a reliable, well-known exchange to make your first purchase. Fourth, a lot of people will tell you to start with the blue chips, the big ones, like Bitcoin or Ethereum. And finally, number 5, and this is non-negotiable, secure every single one of your accounts with two-factor authentication. Always.
So now you've got a framework for getting started safely. But let's explore something really interesting. How crypto is so much more than just buying an asset and hoping it goes up. There's this entire ecosystem of ways you can actually put your digital assets to work and potentially earn a return.
Let's look at 3 common ways people do this. First, you have the hodler. The name came from a typo, and now it just means hold on for dear life. This is your patient, long-term investor. Then you have the yield farmer, who's kind of like a digital landlord, lending out their crypto to earn interest. And finally, you've got the active trader, which is a high-effort, high-skill approach that's all about making money from short-term price changes.
Let's just focus on that middle path for a second, yield farming. This strategy often uses something called stablecoins, which are cryptocurrencies designed to hold a steady value, usually tied to something like the US dollar. And by lending these out in the world of decentralized finance, the average annual percentage yield, or APY, can be right around 8%.
And this chart right here, this is why so many people are drawn to something called DeFi, or decentralized finance. When you put that potential 8% return next to the average of, maybe 1% you'd be lucky to get from a traditional savings account, you can just see the massive difference. It shows a completely different scale of potential return, which of course also comes with its own set of risks you don't find in traditional banking.
Another way to earn is through mining. Now, trying to do it all by yourself is pretty much out of reach for most of us these days, but you can join what are called mining pools. This lets you combine your computer's power with a bunch of other people to help secure the network, and in return, you get a share of the crypto rewards every month.
We've covered buying, securing your assets, and earning, but the crypto universe is just so much bigger than that. These are really just the starting points. So let's quickly take a look at the huge variety of other ways you can get involved with this tech.
I mean, you can trade directly with other people on peer-to-peer platforms, cutting out the middleman. You can participate in staking, where you lock up your coins to help a network run smoothly and get rewarded for it. There are automated trading bots, programs that will literally pay you in crypto just to learn about new projects, and the whole massive world of DeFi lending and borrowing. It is a deep, deep rabbit hole, and it's always evolving. Okay, before we finish up, let's just pause on the single most important piece of advice you will ever get on this topic. This is a volatile, speculative, and mostly unregulated market. Yes, fortunes can be made, but they can also be lost in a flash. Because of that, you must never, ever invest more money than you are totally prepared to lose completely. Be smart, be cautious, and be responsible.
So there you have it, a beginner's map to a new digital frontier. You have the basic tools, you've got a safety checklist, and you've had a little peek into all the possibilities. The world of crypto is here, and it's wide open for exploration. The only question left is, how will you choose to explore it?